The 120-unit Elara complex in the Canberra suburb of Bruce began with excellent credentials.
The developer in this case had hired one of the best names in architecture in Australia. In fact, the architects that had designed Parliament House in Canberra. It doesn't get better than that.
The award-winning architects were replaced before construction started. The problems at Elara began within a couple of years of its completion in 2007.
The initial thing was, I guess my daughter who was living here was saying, "Oh, Dad, we've got some leaks in the balcony, or the car park's full of water." That was the initial thing, so I then made inquiries to the strata manager about what was happening, and then the full detail was revealed about the number of issues that we had here.
We've then got occupancy certificates and people have started moving in. People have lived here for years now, and I don't want to say it's falling apart because it's not, but it's got a lot of issues.
And how much worse does it make it, given that it was, your first home?
It's shattering. Like, this is what I say for all young people are encouraged, save up and buy your first home, because then you're set for life, everything's good at that point, but it's not. Not when you move into this.
So Ross, this is the place?
Yes, typical type of design, 3 stories high, a concrete frame structure.
The owners called in defects expert Ross Taylor.
The most apparent waterproofing issues of water through balconies and into basements and garages. It then had substantial cracking on the facades, render and brickwork of the facades, which is apparent to anybody walking around the place or buying. Then there were fire regulation issues, and there were structural adequacy issues that had to be addressed.
Here is what's called a construction joint or an expansion joint over the top of the garage, which leaks anytime it rains.
After failed attempts to get the builder to fix the defects, the owners took him to court. But the builder placed the company, B&T Constructions, into administration, claiming millions of dollars in debts.
It became clear following the appointment of the liquidator that there was no money for the owners' corporation. In fact, there was no monies for a number of owners' corporations that the builder had been responsible for.
So this was a tactic, was it?
I can't speak to the mind of the builder, but he had a group of companies. There were intercompany loans between those companies, and certainly I would expect that the intention of having a group of companies was to protect his assets and ensure that it was difficult to get any monies that were around.
The Elara owners tried to claim against a special insurance fund set up by the ACT government, but the federal court ruled they were outside the 5-year maximum period. The owners are appealing the decision. If they lose, they face a multi-million-dollar defects bill.
It's mostly the stress for me. I'm quite lucky that my apartment itself isn't affected. I'm not like other people who have leaks within their apartment, who have mold growing and things like that. So I'm pretty lucky in that way, but it's the stress of it, knowing that things could go wrong in the federal court and I could be dumped with the cost of my share of repairing this place.
We are now in retirement, we're still paying off a mortgage, and that's our superannuation money just going to pay off a mortgage, which we never intended to do. Instead of our money running out when we're 92, it might run out when I don't know when it'll run out, but certainly it's our superannuation money now that's paying the mortgage off on the unit.
And in terms of the value of the unit, where are you now from what you paid for it initially?
Probably minus 50 or 60,000.